Hi guys, I wanted to give you guys a tour of our new property. So this land that we are moving to is actually 3.18 acres, and it's pretty much for the most part wide open. So for all intents and purposes on camera, basically you guys will have to just pretend that everything that is in the woods is not ours, even though we do own some of the woods. It's just much easier for visualization on camera to just go, okay, that's the boundary line. So on the corner over here, our property is actually shaped like a heart. So we're gonna pretend that we're talking about ventricles and hearts and stuff, and we're just pretending it's the normal, like heart emoji. So the left side of the heart, it actually has a nice little stream on it. Walk down here. So it actually has a nice stream here on it, and it pretty much just flows down, goes all the way down into the center of the heart. At that center point, it meets on the other side of our property, on the right side of the heart. There is another stream, so they both convene and merge together at the back corner of the property, like at the very base of the heart. So back in that area, there is a lot of, ooh, that's pretty. I'm gonna flip you guys around. This will be easier. That way you guys can see the land instead of me. So down in here, this is all still that same stream. There is so much deer sign on this property. Like, it is amazing. I actually did find some bear poop yesterday, so that was cool. But look at this. This is just so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? I just cannot get over how beautiful it is here. Like, I tried to film multiple times and I'm like, I don't even want to disturb the silence. Like, it's just so peaceful and calm. So you guys can see over in here, that's a lot of deer rubs. Like, it's just like everywhere. Me and Ken, the former neighbor, well, soon to be former neighbor, him and I are actually really good friends now, but we were walking around looking everywhere and I was like, my God, like, we thought there was a whole bunch of deer sign at our current place. Like, this is just, it's literally just everywhere. All of these little trees and stuff. I'm not sure what they are. I do not know. I'm not really super familiar with like wetland plants and stuff, like what natively grows in areas. So I'm not really sure what all of this cluster of small bushes and stuff are. But obviously once the leaves start coming on, then I'll be able to tell. Like, look at this. It is crystal clear. That is just gorgeous. I cannot get over it. Like, so this area over in here is actually not going to be fenced in for the animals to come into. I don't imagine. I don't know though. The previous owner, he has fencing up. Well, he's deceased. So he had electric fence up. He ran a horse in here, I'm assuming, because in the barn there's like a horse ball thingy to get treats. I don't know. I'm not sure which way to go. I think I'll go. I don't know. I haven't explored yet very far. But so we own up into the woods some, but it's very steep. I think this area over in here might actually be where we end up having our hay guy dig a pond, because it is very, I'm glad I have boots on. It is very wet. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm probably going to say that like 7,000 times as I'm filming today, because it's just, I can't get over it. There's a little bit of snow still. The creek. I definitely should have turned around. But there's an old tire here. I'll spin you guys around so you, or no, I'll leave it this way. Ugh, got it. So, back to house part, less wild areas. So over in here, this whole big grassy area that's up on the hillside, that's all going to be dedicated for the goats. So they're going to have a pasture area that basically is going to follow suit with the property line of just following that heart out. I don't really want, goats hate having wet feet. They hate being in wet areas. Basically everything that our current property, or soon to be past property, was, goats freaking hate it. So it's kind of hard, but so I got to make sure that they're not stuck down in here all the time. Like, they can have access to down here, but I want their pasture to more or less be this hillside here. So they'll end up having quite a bit of space. It'll be a lot bigger of a space and a lot better space for them. And it's really nice because in the heart-shaped diagram thing, the sun, the south, is at the bottom of the point. So literally our entire property has extremely great sun exposure. I'm going to spin back around this way to show you guys where we started the tour at. We started up by them pines up there. So this stream, it just keeps going and going and going. It's pretty neat because I looked on the map, on the satellite imaging, found this stream, traced it all out, where it all goes. And if you're from the area, like the Carroll County-ish area, there's a, I don't even know what county it is in, but there's a bigger creek called Yellow Creek. This property, the streams, they actually run down to Yellow Creek, which then runs into the Ohio River. So where we're moving to is actually, babe, how long, do you remember how long it took us to get to the Ohio River from down here? We're like a half hour from the Ohio River. Do you want to wave? Do you want to wave? Proof of life. I don't even know if anybody will be able to see you because you're so far away. I'll spin it. That way you can wave. There's Tracy. But so, yeah, we're only like a half an hour or so from the Ohio River, but it's basically like up towards the top panhandle of West Virginia is where, like, on the Ohio map, that's kind of where we're over at. So, yeah, this whole big area is going to be for goats. We're planning on running the ducks and geese, letting them free range around the property like we do currently. So that's one of the first things of courses of action is to put up a nice perimeter fence to basically just get it so that way ducks and geese and the chickens can free range, the puppies can free range still to be good little farm dogs, and then nobody can get out, nothing can get in, because there is on the other side, on the right side of the heart, which we'll see that later, on that side I found quite a bit of bear poop, so that was cool. In this area there are actually bears. 10 years ago when we lived in this area, I actually almost hit a bear on the road with our little small Chevy Sonic. That was scary. Everybody at that time was like, there's not bears in this area, there's not bears, bullshit. And I was like, I'm telling you, almost did it with my car. And I had worked at the nursing home at that time, and this little old lady was like, I've lived in that area my entire life, and there's never been bears there. And then, like, she kept making fun of me. A week later, it was on the front page of the newspaper that right by where I almost hit it. That's where it was spotted, and there was a picture of it. It's kind of funny because she ended up coming up to me and was like, I'm really sorry that last week I was making fun of you. I'm so sorry that I told all my friends too that you were an idiot. And I was like, thanks for at least apologizing, but you know, is what it is. So yeah, there's bears out here, there are bobcats out here, there are, like a decade ago, I think it was about 40 minutes drive from here, there was a mountain lion found dead along the freeway. So I mean, there are definitely predators. Check it out. Ain't that just gorgeous? Like I can't quit like falling in love with this place. It's too perfect. It's too amazing for us. Like it just, obviously it's not too much. It's just right. It's like the Goldilocks thing of we've been given exactly what we needed. Not too much, not too little. Plenty of space for me to be able to have a nice little Zen like meditation area back in here. Back over, I don't know how well you guys will be able to pick it up because the weeds are so high and I'm getting covered in little briars, but back in here is the back of the property, kind of just where the woods start at, a little bit past that, and that's where both slices of the heart cut off at. I'm going to flip you guys around so you guys can get an idea as to how far back I am. So way over there where the pine trees are, the last pine tree over there, that's where we started. Right there, that is where the barn is going to be. That is, don't zoom in on my finger, there's the house, and then there is one neighbor over there. From the house you can't actually see the neighbor because there's like the hillside, and then there's also a garage next to the house. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera. It's so hard for me to see right now because like you guys can see me, but the sun's behind me, so it's just nothing but a glare hitting me in the face. So, but yeah, more beautiful water flowing everywhere. And I think it's so neat to like know that everything that I'm doing here eventually will go into the Ohio River and eventually will go into the ocean and all that stuff. That like I literally, the energy that I'm putting out, because you know, like there's all this science about how you can talk to water and do different things with water and all of this stuff, and like it changes the molecules. So like yesterday I had the epiphany that literally every single thing that I do here potentially can change the water molecules for like millions and billions and gajillions of people, like everywhere. Like, you know, if you believe in that sort of stuff, it's pretty powerful. If you don't, you're gonna think I'm a lunatic, and well, too bad. But so it's just constantly. I just keep walking around, just so it's pretty nice. And then over in here, oh, there's a good flow here. I'll flip you guys around. So there's a bit of a drop off there, and then a nice little bit of depth over here. I would guess in the center there, where the weeds and stuff are, and that little bit of foam, I would guess that that's probably 2 feet deep right there. So I'm very curious to see in the springtime, because this side is cut. It's cut pretty deep down in there. I would guess that it's probably like a 4-foot drop right there. So I'm guessing that there's probably quite a good flow of water through here in the springtime. So that's why I'm going to follow the previous owner's guidance of putting the fence line up here on the hillside. So that's where basically the property line is going to just follow suit where the previous owner had ran fencing, because he's the one that put the house here. So that he lived here, I'm assuming, for like close to 30 years. So I'm assuming that he actually would know way better than I would. Absolutely would. Where stuff is at. So yeah, the only thing that I don't like that kind of bums me out is in all of these woods, I have not seen any maple trees. So I did on the other side over there yesterday. I did, when I was walking with Ken, I seen like 1 maple tree. So that's going to be kind of a bummer to me to not be able to tap trees, but it also is one of those things of like, well, we'll have the money like once we move and stuff that I can just buy syrup from people locally if need be. I'm sure that people around here there's probably quite a few people like me out here that, you know, are tapping trees and things of that nature. So it's not a huge deal. But here's the other part of the creek. There's a really heavily trafficked game trail there. This looks pretty. Ain't that just gorgeous? I just cannot get over how pretty all of this is. Like, I'm in awe. Like, constantly just walking around, I'm just like, holy smokes, like this is ours. This is like 100% ours. Nobody else's. Like that, like it feels amazing to get to come home and feel like it actually is home. Like yesterday while we were ripping out a whole bunch of stuff, I texted Tracy and I was like, feels like home here. And that is the first time that I have actually, like, deep in my soul felt that anywhere. So yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff. But yeah, this is just gorgeous. So that's pretty much the end of the property tour. I mean, you guys can see the right ventricle goes up along the way. There is another stream. Like I said, they converge. So over in here between that tree there and the hillside here, that's where I found some bear poop. So that was cool. I'm not really afraid of anything like that, because like we're literally just gonna, starting probably tomorrow, we're gonna work on putting up fencing. So I mean, it's not that big of a deal to, you know, have wildlife here. Plus this place has been abandoned for almost 2 years. So I mean, nature's had its course here. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'll show you guys. That's the back side of the garage. It's a 2-car garage. The previous owner used the front one as a barn, and then this back building here as a garage. So we're just flip-flopping them around, because I do not want the goats to basically be like right at my bedroom window, because that garage is, I think, maybe 10 feet from the house. Way too close to have as a barn. So yeah, it's gonna be nice. And two cool treasure that's already here, this really big composter. It's like one of the ones that's got, you know, like this spinny handle and stuff, so you can spin it all around. So there is a crack in it, so just gonna have to put some like caulk or something there, try to seal that up. So very super excited, very super jazzed. Yeah, I think that pretty much concludes it. Like, unless if you guys want to see the garage / barn, this will end up being the barn. So this building needs a new roof. Once we sell our house, this one's getting a new roof. The building that's out front is getting a new roof. And then we're probably gonna, I'm not sure what else we're gonna do. It's still up in the air. Still trying to decide, but this has a nice cement floor and stuff, so it's going to be great for cleaning out with the animals. Then it also has a typical, like a single car garage door, so then we can actually invest in getting some sort of equipment, like maybe one of those like mini skid steers that you like stand on top of. So then that way we can clean out the barn without having to just fork everything out, because that is something that's, honestly, it's super hard on my body and my back, and it's labor intensive because we do the deep litter method. So then like when you clean it out, like it's a lot of shit. Like it's heavy. So that'll be nice to be able to come in, scoop everything, but we will have to obviously put in walls and dividers and separation and things of that nature. So then that way none of the animals are just running loose in there. So we're planning on letting the chickens continue to live with the goats in the barn, because honestly that's kind of how the chickens have just always done it. They've just always gone in there with the goats. So, and it doesn't hurt anything. It just makes life simpler to just let them do what they want to do, because otherwise, they'll peck your eyes out. I'm just kidding. Ours are nice, but yeah, it's nice. There's a lot of flat, relatively flat area, which is really surprising, because like this is actually deep in the foothills of the Appalachian mountain range. So like over in here, like it is very steep. I don't think that I could physically walk up that hill, because it's like probably like that. It's far steeper than ours. So we do own part of that hillside, but like I said, just gonna count it as not ours pretty much. But yeah, my heart is so full. It's just, I have no words left. So anyways, that concludes the tour. Right back over there is where we started at, way over there. So, and then way back there was I think you guys can see it. Way back over yonder is where the bottom of the heart is at. So it's just, I think it's so comical that I keep saying about how I want to do so many heart-based things and like just love and just give and just so much, and then the irony of being on a property that is shaped like a heart. Like it just, somebody was listening, that's for sure. So anyways, that's it for today. I gotta go see if Tracy needs help changing them locks and stuff. Try to do something helpful. So we ended up getting a ton of demo done yesterday. Whenever I come back tomorrow, I'll probably film inside to show you guys what all we got accomplished, because it's a lot. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.